putting value on what God appreciates in you. You see, in a relationship, there's something, or let me say one thing, that draws you to another person. And the same thing that draws another person may be that same thing that draws God to you. Let me put it this way. There's one thing that God sees in you that make him to commit things into your hands. And there's another thing that other men see in you that make them to enter the relationship with you. So either God and man, which means there are some things in us that establishes relationship between us and God, or between us and man. And what will make this relationship to last is that you must appreciate the value that others sees in you, that draw them to you, the value that others sees in you, that make them to become your friends, that make them to become your man. That's the same value that God sees in you, that make him to commit something into your hands. Paul said, God has committed the gospel to my hand. So there's something that God sees in you that made him to commit the ministry, that made to commit things in your hands. It will not be altar ministry alone. It will be money ministry. It will be happy ministry. It will be any other ministry. There's something that God sees in you. So for you to now make relationship to be strong and to be strengthened, you must make sure that you appreciate the value and work on the value every day. So the more you fine-tune the value that God sees in you, the more you go deeper in the relationship that you have with God. Praise the living God. Now, look at Paul. One thing that God saw in Paul is his tenacity. Paul was so tenacious that he was so rugged. God saw this in him. I God said that this man can carry my gospel to another place. If he can be doing this in the religion of his father, the Judaism, he can do more. God sees this tenacity in him, and God made him to become the apostle unto the Gentiles. God looked at the curiosity of Peter, and God made him to be the apostle of the Jew. Because he was so curious, he will be open to revelation. What I mean is that there's something that God sees in you that made him to choose you for something. So commit yourself to that thing, and you now see how deeply the relationship you have with God will be so strong. The same way, hallelujah, with other people. There's something that others sees in you that made them to love you, that made them to move closer to you. The same way, you must appreciate that value. Bible says, he said, Israel, I have brought you out of Egypt with temptation. This 4 verse 34. I have brought you out of Egypt with temptation, with wonders, with torments, with all kind of things. Look at that place, you will now see that there are many things that God used about 6 dimensions to bring Israel out of Egypt. Why? Because he shows them, because he loved them, because there's something he saw in Shem, which he has made to love the children of Shem. The same thing that God sees in you that make him to love you, that make him to commit it to your hands. If you want to go deeper and see God's favor in that thing, you must always appreciate and respect the value. Work on the value, fine-tune it, make it more brighter, and there you will now see that God is an able God. He will do more exceedingly and abundantly than what he has done to you. Hallelujah. So he will do it. So